Hi, everybody. My name is Pedro Tanger. I am an entrepreneur in a very specific industry, martial arts. So I operate based on in Portugal. And well, my story, I wanted to share with you a story where I had a huge fail and I learned a lot with it. So one of the things I do a lot is I go to companies with motivational activities. So I go to a company and everybody's there, you know, those typical team building activities. And I go there and everybody, after 1 hour, the goal is for everybody to break a wooden board like we do in martial arts, right? And it's all about, you know, dealing with obstacles and dealing with challenge, and it's not about breaking the board. It's about your relationship with breaking a board, you know. So all that metaphor, and sometimes I before I do that, I have a kind of you know, a motivational talk, or I speak for like 45 minutes about my story and how I went from the impossible to the possible, because you know, martial arts is a very old product, but the way you approach it can be extremely innovative, and there's a lot to say about this. So here I am. I'm invited to go do this to the Czech Republic, to an American company who's based there, and they have the annual meeting, and they wanted to invite something, you know, special, and you know, do something out of the box. So here they go. They invite Pedro Tanger. They fly me over, and they make this like huge deal, you know, like, you know, we're gonna have our major partners coming from the U.S. These guys are like bazillionaires, and they're here, and they're, you know, they're excited to hear you. So I'm like, oh my God, you know, this can be, this is really nice, and this really needs to go really well. And I go and, you know, I prepare my presentation and I do this, and I'm like, oh my God, what do I have to say to these guys who are like, you know, high entrepreneurs, Forbes, whatever. And I have everything in my computer. I set it up and I'm ready. You know, the day before we go out for dinner with some of the guys, not the hot shots. They're flying in first class, straight to the office, you know, kind of thing. And I'm like, okay, so next day we get there. Okay, we have, you know, 15 minutes to start. Boom. And I'm like, oh, man, where's my computer? And so my computer, I left my computer at the hotel. And it's not like I can go and pick it up. The hotel was like 40 minutes away because this was an offsite. And I'm like, oh, you know, what am I going to do? And so I'm like, get super nervous. And I usually don't get very nervous. And I go like, oh my God, I get all, you know, stressed out and all dried out. And I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And the time starts. And these guys are like, you start at time, right? And it should be like that. They have somebody go to the hotel and reach the hotel so that whenever they get into the room, they get my computer, they send it to me because I didn't put the damn file in the cloud. How come I didn't do that? You know, I didn't do that. And there I was, okay, finally we start like 10 minutes late because the guys go like, you know, they make it sensible. You know, okay, whatever, start 10 minutes late. And I start and I have nothing. And I'm like, and usually, you know, you improvise and you go, but because of the big stakes that were, you know, that were the big things that were in stake there, I'm like, I can't improvise. I mean, I could, of course I could, and I should. And I didn't. So there I was like total, and I just didn't say anything. After 10 minutes of this, me going like, and I started, and I used to be a lawyer, and this, and I, you know, my story like all over the place. And suddenly they sign and they go like, yes, the email is in, and I'm like, oh, yes, the email is in. So I go in and they open and I said, guys, really sorry. They knew about the problem, so they kind of laughed and like, you know, we've been there, it's okay. I opened the presentation that I said, you know, the file, you know, here's the file, send me the file. I opened the presentation, bam! And it's not the same presentation at all. It's like something completely different. And I go and I look at everybody, and you know what, you have no excuses left. It's just like, I'm just pure incompetent at the moment. So I'm there like, okay, well, guys, this is not the presentation. And, you know, of course, at that point, everybody's like laughing and they say like, oh, whatever. So I went through it and I completely messed that up. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to improvise. I wasn't ready for that at all. And After that, we had the board breaking part, and well, that went perfect because I had the damn boards. So everything I needed, I had it in me, and I had the boards. So it finished off well at the end. So, well, we can see all of the lessons I learned here, right? But first of all, put the damn clouds on the damn files on the cloud. Okay, there's like, don't keep it in your computer. We have the technology for that, thank God. So, and the other thing is, don't be too stuck on presentations. I don't know why I was. I think because of what I built on that was I was super ready about the presentation. It was not about the presentation. I didn't need the presentation. I was going to talk about my life. I don't need a PDF or whatever to talk about me, right? But I did, and so so really going to the content that made me also think about how when you go to a presentation, anything you use is just a support. You really have to be very strong in your presentation so that you don't need these extra things. So and obviously be prepared and prepare yourself so that you are the essence of everything you do. You don't need anything else. Of course, if you work with things you need material, obviously double, triple, quadruple check that. Now, and did this happen again? I mean, well, I was invited like maybe 2 months later, I was invited to Angola to do the same thing. Guess what I did? First thing I did, I put the presentation in the cloud, Google Drive, yay! But I didn't do that. I put it in the cloud. I sent myself an email. I sent the email, a presentation like to 7 people. Just say, sure, guys, here's what I'm going to talk about. And it went fine. And after that, now I know that every time I have to do this, I just reassure and I do redundancies so that this doesn't happen again. I hope this is useful, guys. If you want anything else from me, I'm here. Guys, good luck and keep strong.